Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show. Here's that spot, that channel, where we come together to gather that mindset, the tools, the awareness that we all need to make sure we stay on top of our game, to give ourselves permission, possibility, and tools to blow our own minds. Here's where we as a tribe, as a community, we collectively inspire others while being inspired ourselves. I love reading your comments. I love listening to your voice inside of this conversation. Gabrielle, you said from the episode, Teach People How to Treat You, one of my favorite episodes, by the way. You said, quote unquote, I don't teach from a mountaintop. I teach as I'm walking up the mountain with you. This was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Thank you, Lisa. You're welcome, sis. My pleasure. Sandeep said, quote, I've kept hearing many successful people say that if you don't love yourself, no one else will. But I could never understand how to do it. How do I love myself? He goes on to say, quote, after hearing you, I realize that I've held myself back from loving myself in the shackles of guilt, blame, shame, and anger. Thank you, Lisa. He goes on to say, quote, this might just be a video, but through this, I realize that I just have to forgive myself so that I can let myself love me. Capital M-E, B-O-L, breakthrough out loud. Sandeep, that warms my heart, brother. That makes me feel so happy that you can take that one nugget, that one episode, and you can pull out of it the lesson that you've been hearing over and over and over again, but it just wasn't phrased in a way that you were ready to grab a hold to it. Now you're ready. So don't let it go anytime soon. See, you don't just get an aha and it immediately shows up in your life and begins to produce results. You get the aha. You have to remind yourself that you got the aha, you got the breakthrough. And then you have to figure out, how do I implement it and integrate it into my daily life? So I ask you, Sandeep, and everyone else that's gotten a BOL or got an aha moment from any episode that I've said, and I'll ask you this question: how is that breakthrough out loud showing up in your life? Are you living like you got the breakthrough? You know, when I talk about celebrating the journey, that has many layers to it. Celebrating the journey, one, means don't wait until you've arrived somewhere to celebrate yourself. That's number one. It means that you're always going to be in pursuit of something. So don't wait till you arrive to acknowledge yourself. Don't wait till you arrive, because I still haven't arrived. Like, we don't arrive anywhere. Like, if you're waiting to arrive somewhere before you celebrate you, oh my God, it's gonna be a long, long life. Celebrating yourself along the way, inside the journey, it is as big as allowing others to celebrate your greatness. How many times do we minimize someone else's acknowledgement of us? You know, I hear it so many. I used to do it all the time too. People say, oh my God, you're so great. No. Like, you want them to run past the compliment. Like, you feel uncomfortable. Well, hold on. Celebrating yourself along the way, inside the journey, is allowing people to acknowledge you. When early in my career, when I first started speaking and teaching, people would say, oh my God, you have to be one of the greatest speakers I've ever heard. And I would say thank you really fast, but not because I was really letting it in, but because I really wanted to move on past a very uncomfortable moment. Thank you. And I began to shift the word thank you because I realized I was deflecting the acknowledgement. I wanted to celebrate myself along the journey. So I changed from saying thank you to saying, I received that. And when I would say I received that, it wasn't just for them. It wasn't just for them. It was also for me to allow myself to receive it. That's one way to celebrate yourself in a healthy way along the journey. Another way is to, instead of making big macro goals, those big bodacious goals, make some micro goals, smaller goals. I don't make an annual goal. I make quarterly goals. I make monthly goals. And each quarter and each month, the goal that I hit, I stop and celebrate myself. Now, I celebrate myself by making me something really good and inviting one person over or 3 people over and say, I'm celebrating myself for small micro wins. Taking myself out for a nice night, something to eat, or just sharing with a friend. Celebrating yourself along the journey is also not keeping your wins a secret. I used to keep my victories a secret. I would get an award, or I would close a deal, or I would get a new contract, or I would whatever, and no one knew because I didn't want to brag. Well, what if I know I'm not a bragger? Like, what if you know you're not a bragger? Can you not be someone who brags, but is someone who wants to celebrate yourself along the journey? We're all like little 3-year-old kids. What gets celebrated gets repeated. And if you want to repeat successful behaviors, then you got to celebrate them, because what's celebrated gets repeated. We're just kids living in adult bodies. And so, when I want to do something again, I stop. And then here's the thing that I realized. There are people around you who love you, who want to celebrate you. And when you don't celebrate you, you rob them. Rob. Ooh, yes, that's such a messy word. I'm going to say rob. You rob them of the opportunity to celebrate you as well. I'm only intimately connected with that because I've done it so many times. I was published in a national magazine or on national television or did something amazing, and I just kind of let it slide by. My family would go, "What are you thinking, chick? We didn't get a chance to celebrate you." And then I realized that my wins, your wins, they don't just belong to you. That there are people who have been in your camp for weeks, months, and years. And when you win, they win. And so celebrating yourself along the journey allows them to experience a celebration, because we are under-celebrated. We don't have enough parties. We don't have enough birthdays. We don't have enough graduations. Well, I've had enough birthdays, but I'm having the same birthday over and over again. I don't know what number it is, but I'll choose that number and tell you later. We don't have enough parties. We don't have enough graduations. Every year we should say, I graduated 2016. I graduated 2018. Look at me, I graduated. Like every year. Look at what we climb over. Look at what we go around. Look at what we push through. So if we're not celebrating us, who's going to celebrate us? People are watching you, and they follow your example of how to treat you. And so if you feel that you're not being celebrated and acknowledged and honored enough, it's probably because the example you're given is that you don't need to be celebrated and acknowledged, because you're not celebrating or acknowledging yourself enough. I know that sounds wild. I know it's like, Lisa, how could I? Pull up your big boy pants. Pull up your big girl pants. Let's celebrate you. You can name 3 things right now. As a matter of fact, I want you to name 3 things right now, right under this video, right under this episode, that you deserve to be celebrated for. Whether you've been celebrated or not, whether you got a party or not, whether you already had your party, what are 3 things that you know you deserve to be celebrated for? We walk around under-acknowledged. They interviewed 100 executives that all made $250,000 or more. And they asked them each, would you rather receive a 5% increase, which, oh, by the way, when you make $250,000, 5%, do the math, is a lot of money. It could buy someone a car. Would you rather receive a 5% increase, or would you rather forfeit the increase and be acknowledged more often? Not 50%, not 40%, not 70%, 100% of the executives all said, keep the money. I'd rather be acknowledged more often. Listen, celebration is not extra. It's not bonus. Celebration is fuel. It's like when you're growing grass. You plant the seed, the grass will grow. But you put some manure on it, it grows faster and it grows stronger. Celebration is like that. You can still move forward without it, but when you celebrate, it just adds energy. Remember, energy grows where energy goes. If you grow the energy of celebration, it grows everything that you're celebrating. So you're not being braggadocious or self-serving or self-indulgent or lacking humility when you celebrate your journey. You're simply saying, job well done. If you're willing to celebrate that child with a job well done, celebrate that sister friend with a job well done, celebrate your brother with a job well done, then why not start first with celebrating you with a job well done? Let me start off for you. Look into my eyes and hear my voice when I say to you, job well done. Remember, I always tell you, I don't always tell you this because I run out of stuff to say at the end of my episodes. I always tell you this because it's always important for you to know that I want to hear your voice. I want to hear from you. What did this episode do for you? I'm not here to hear myself. I'm here to hear you. I'm here for us to be in a dialogue. I don't only want to hear your words through your comments below. I want to see your videos over on my other pages as well. I want to hear the same thing you would write here. I want to see it in video because I want to see your face. I want to hear your tone. I want to hear the sound that emanates from your soul. I want to know what about this episode did you need to hear? What message in this episode was long overdue? What's the aha? What's the BOL? What in this message, like so many of your other comments, I've heard it before, but something happened in this episode where now I got my BOL. What was that for you? I want you to leave me a comment below. I want you to let me know. I want to know that if I'm on the right track, let me know I'm on the right track. Let me know what you needed to hear. I'm here to feed you. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to make sure that I'm touching the pulse of what's important to you. And the only way that that occurs is when you give me feedback on what matters, what was said, what was turned upside down and inside out inside of you. And then always, I'm going to invite you, if you haven't committed, are you commitment phobic? I need you to commit to me. I'm committed to you. I need you to subscribe. Join the tribe. If you're already subscribed and you keep coming back, welcome home. This is and will always be your home. And I will always be your sister. And I will always tell you in some form or another, I love you and I believe in you because I do. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to be with you. I'm excited to learn from you and I'm excited to teach you. I'm excited that we're on the planet at the exact same time and we get to share each other's space and energy. I'm your sister and I appreciate you. See, that was celebration. I'll see you soon.